Israel stunned as Iran bounces back faster than expected, raising fresh questions over whether the IDF underestimated Tehran again. Bibi faces a new shock as Iran's missile machine appears to be returning sooner than expected despite the devastating strikes. Mojtaba moves to rebuild what Israel bombed, leaving the IDF facing a surprising question over how quickly Iran's missile capabilities are returning. Trump and Netanyahu bombed Iran's military infrastructure, so how is Tehran managing to rebuild key capabilities so rapidly? Was Israel's war strategy wrong as Netanyahu's claims of setting Iran's program back by years face a fresh challenge? Israel reportedly carried out around 30,000 strikes, but did Tehran find a way to recover from the damage faster than Israel anticipated? Netanyahu's war may have achieved major destruction, but did it fail to deliver a lasting setback as Israel now faces a new post-war security nightmare? Israel is reportedly stunned by the speed of Iran's military recovery following the 2026 war, with Tehran rebuilding key capabilities faster than expected. Both IDF and Mossad officials have reportedly been surprised by the rapid turnaround, according to the Jerusalem Post, prompting fresh concerns inside Israel. For months, the IDF had maintained that Israel's attacks had pushed Iran's military-industrial complex back by years, severely damaging its ability to produce weapons. But Israeli officials are now reportedly reassessing that assessment as evidence emerges that Iran is restoring parts of its military infrastructure far more quickly than anticipated. The recovery is not limited to a single area, with Iran's ballistic missile capability emerging as one of the biggest concerns for Israeli defense officials. During the 2026 war, the United States and Israel launched tens of thousands of strikes against Iranian targets in an effort to cripple Tehran's military and weapons infrastructure. More than 2,600 missile and military-industrial targets were reportedly attacked during the campaign, representing a massive air assault on Iran's defense network. The IDF claimed that virtually every major and minor component of Iran's military industry had been shattered to pieces during the intensive bombing campaign. Yet Israel is now reportedly acknowledging that Iran has discovered creative and rapid ways to rebuild its missile infrastructure despite the scale of the destruction. Iran has reportedly used bulldozers and heavy machinery to reopen underground missile facilities, allowing damaged sites to become operational again faster than Israel had expected. Iranian officials have also indicated that new weapons are being produced at a much faster pace, suggesting that Tehran is attempting to restore its missile production capacity rather than simply repair damaged facilities. According to reports, Iran could potentially rebuild between 100 and 300 ballistic missiles every month, depending on the scale and efficiency of its recovering production network. At that rate, Iran could potentially rebuild its ballistic missile arsenal toward earlier levels within just a few years, raising fresh concerns inside Israel over how lasting the war's impact really was. Satellite images showed Iran had begun repair work at nuclear sites damaged in recent US strikes, Fox News reported. Newly released satellite imagery indicated reconstruction activity was underway at several previously targeted facilities. Former US Defense Secretary Mark Esper said Tehran had rapidly restored parts of its military capabilities after the attacks. Esper said Iran had rebuilt sections of its missile and drone programs to regain strategic leverage in the region. He warned Tehran was steadily restoring military capabilities that could strengthen its position in any future confrontation. Esper argued Iran's recovery showed the strikes had not permanently crippled its military infrastructure or production capacity. He urged Washington to intensify economic pressure, saying stronger sanctions could slow Iran's military recovery efforts. The reported rebuilding followed recent US and Israeli strikes targeting Iran's nuclear infrastructure during the conflict. Mojtaba Khamenei is reportedly far more willing than his father to pursue a nuclear weapon, strengthening hardliners inside the regime. The assessment comes from US intelligence agencies and was highlighted in a New York Times report on Iran's post-Khamenei leadership. This marks a major shift in Washington's view of Iran's leadership following Ali Khamenei's death. New York Times reported, and I quote, "While Mojtaba Khamenei has not publicly called for Iran to build a nuclear weapon, US intelligence agencies believe he is more receptive than his father to developing one." Ali Khamenei had publicly maintained that nuclear weapons were forbidden under his religious fatwa. US officials cautioned that much of the intelligence predates the war and that Mojtaba Khamenei, who was reportedly injured during the conflict, has kept a low profile since taking power. Officials also said Iran has not resumed nuclear enrichment despite moving some equipment to the heavily fortified underground facility known as Pickaxe Mountain. Unquote. Amid daily US air and missile strikes on Iran, an Iranian general has lashed out at Washington over the types of weapons now being used, accusing the United States of escalating to its most extreme arsenals. The Iranian military spokesman claimed that the US has deployed weapons it had effectively stockpiled for hypothetical World War III, pointing to the combat debut of next-generation precision strike missiles and new combat drones as proof that Washington is dipping into its most advanced warfighting tools. General Sherkati further argued that the US has used weapons against Iran that it had never previously employed in any war, highlighting systems like the precision strike missile and low-cost unmanned combat drones as unprecedented capabilities now being tested on Iranian soil.
Every weapon that had been tested in the world but never deployed in any war has been used against the Islamic Republic. Every piece of weaponry, every technology, every capability that had not been used even once in any war was deployed in the war against the Islamic Republic. Every capability, every weapon, every contingency that the Americans had planned and stockpiled for World War III, to engage with the world's major powers, all of it was brought to the field against the Islamic Republic, and all of it was used and deployed.
America's weapon stockpiles have been depleting rapidly over the course of the Iran war, thinning out key missiles and bombs that Washington had hoped to reserve for other major threats. Thousands of US munitions have been burned through, including long-range missiles, as the Pentagon sustains an almost nightly tempo of strikes against Iranian targets and air defenses. Iranian state TV on July 22 aired footage of warehouses filled with Arash drones that it said were used in strikes on US bases across the region. State television described the Arash drone as the Iranian army's steady workhorse, and claimed it had become a key weapon in attacks on US military targets. Iranian media claimed Arash kamikaze drones have been repeatedly used in recent operations targeting US military facilities across the Middle East. The Arash 2 is a one-way attack, or kamikaze, drone designed to destroy its target by crashing into it with an explosive payload. Iran says the drone is built for long-range precision strike missions and can also be used to suppress enemy air defense systems. With a reported range of up to 2,000 kilometers, the Arash 2 is designed to strike strategic targets far beyond Iran's borders. The drone is intended to attack high-value military targets such as air bases, radar sites, command centers, and critical infrastructure. According to reported specifications, the Arash 2 carries an explosive warhead weighing around 150 kilograms, giving it significant destructive capability. The state TV broadcast described US forces as terrorists and said the drone campaign was part of Iran's retaliation against American military operations.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HD app. Download now.